Good morning, all Arsenal fans.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
We're here as a team of four. We've got Charlene, Helen, and Pippa on the road to Burnley. How are we?
Yes, the long journey.
How's it going, Pippa? What time did you leave? What's happening? Tell us all.
Left just after 8 a.m. Not sure how long I'll be able to stay on the street because last time we did this with morning Arsenal on the road, the connection was terrible. So hopefully you can all hear me. Long journey. I'm the driver today. I was literally about to order my train ticket to Burnley. Then I found out Strick was driving on box in his car. So lovely days.
Hey, fair. Good work. Who you got with you? You got a bit of a team there.
Yeah, Cecil's here, Julian's here, Josh is here, and Strick was driving.
Hey, I can't lie. That sounds like a fun. That Stricto looks happy. Hey, send my love to Stricto.
What about the rest?
Yeah, he don't like the rest. He don't like.
Charlie and Helen, how you guys doing?
Good, thank you. Amazing. Nice, bright outside. I've done my workout. I'm energized. I'm ready.
Do you know what? I wish I could say I felt the same.
I know you're like the opposite to me, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Been out last night?
Might have been.
Struggling.
A little bit. This is
You know
how.
what I can say, James? If you did go out last night, it's better to go out before Arsenal play than after because they can easily ruin your weekend.
Yeah.
That's it, right? I don't know what it is. I get to Friday. I realise I've got to watch Arsenal tomorrow, and I just find myself somewhere trying to drink it all away. I'm joking. We've got John says Stricto doesn't want your love, James. He wants 3 points. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Not we all.
Yeah,
Big
don't
facts,
we all?
big facts.
Helen, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Feeling confident?
Well, I'm hoping we're going to kick on and have 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, will we? I'm sensing a bit of a kind of weird tension because I think this is one of those games that we think Arsenal should be winning. It's like you say it's Burnley, but I think there's always that sense that going to Turf Moor is never. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to say I feel confident. I want to say like Arsenal on the back of last week will build on that. All these new signings, new players, maybe a new energy in the team will go and do a job. But I never feel confident we go to Burnley. Even last year, I predicted a draw.
Yeah.
I mean, in Arteta's press conference, he sort of had that positivity about him. It's like there's a whole new vibe going on. Do you think that can help us get a result?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I wanted to. Sorry, we've got morning from the back of the car.
Morning, Cess.
Hey, how's Cecil doing? I'm not sure he likes these mornings, but fair play to him. Love to you, Cecil. Hope you're doing well. Sending you my love as well. Yeah, do you know what? Let's chat about Arteta. I want to ask you, Helen, because I think of all of us here, you've probably been, I wouldn't say the biggest critic. I think you've been very fair on him, but you've definitely been kind of the first to call him out, let's say. And in his press conference, especially kind of since the Man City defeat, his energy has been very like the last 2 weeks have been the best of my career. Like he's kind of talking like there's this new energy. Oh, I think we're struggling with. Let's just take Pippa out. We might have to get her back in. Hey, Pippa. We'll bring Pippa in and out. We know she's on the journey to Burnley, so it's not her fault, bless. But he's Charlene's right. He's talking with this kind of like new energy, like he's turned a corner. I don't know how to explain it. There's this weird kind of
Win.
What's that?
He's had a win.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. But even before, like in the press conference ahead of Norwich, he kept saying, but even before this game, he's saying, I've seen the light, I can see the light. There's a kind of, I don't know, he's talking like there's a new energy, like he's changed his ways. It's really weird. I don't know how else to explain it other than I think he's had a look at himself and the way he's kind of approaching this role over the international break and decided he's going to do. I don't know, or maybe he's just trying to feed us new lines to give us hope. But what's your kind of your feeling about Arteta right now?
I think Arteta is holding on for dear life, if you want me to be very honest, because 2 years the statistics speak for themselves. He's lucky we won against Norwich, because I think, like you say, it's probably given him that confidence to maybe think, you know, I get to live another day in management at Arsenal. Maybe he's had a meeting with Josh, because obviously there's been lots of little rumours being fed out in their best friends, and he's got the best relationship that any manager at Arsenal's ever had with Josh. So again, it's trying to install more confidence in possibly the fans that are questioning his position at the club. I don't know. On my opinion on him, I was happy to see the selection last week, so I won't even go deep. I'll just keep it to current affairs. I thought it was brave of him to make the selection that he did, but it's a selection that I would expect him to make, given he's made those signings. So let's see who he picks today, because that will tell us if he is going in with a new vision or whether he just picks a completely different team again.
Do you think you mentioned Josh Kroenke there. Do you think there's a pressure from... a lot of people say that obviously the Cronkies don't care, and I see you already shaking your head saying no.
Absolutely not.
You don't think there's any pressure from upstairs, even with the money spent?
Nah, because it's little money they've spent. They haven't spent big money. They might have spent more than everybody else, but they balance the books.
But 150 million is not nothing, 74 million last year. I mean, the thing I've always said about the Cronkies is that I know they might not necessarily care about the state of the football club and competing at the, for the highest honours. We absolutely know that. But I do think they care about money and at least the business succeeding. Or am I? Oh, well, Charlene, what do you think?
Depends how you value money and what business, what entity what reference you're making to that, because they have made money for what they bought Arsenal Football Club at to what the current value is. They've made a hell of a lot of money. So they look at that. They don't look at the day-to-day running.
Yeah, fair enough. I was going to ask Charlene, but actually, while we got Pippa with some decent connection, as I said that, it's gone a bit wild. Pippa, can you hear us? It's a struggle. Okay, Charlene. Do you think there's pressure from above? Is it? I mean, because I think when I listen to Arteta, even though he sounds like he's got this new kind of, I don't know, life about him. I don't know what it is. I think he's trying to sell it to us that he's kind of turned a corner or whatever. I do think there's pressure. I definitely, he looks a man under pressure to me.
Yeah, it's not just from above, it's from obviously like media, fans, everyone else as well. So it's pressure from all corners. But in terms of, up above, do they care about Arsenal? I think that's very evident that they don't. And for them, it's always going to be, it is a business for them. I mean, they ain't got a genuine love for the club, have they? So it is all about the money for them.
No, you're right. That's you summed up so well there. They don't have a genuine love for the club.
Yeah.
They might love the idea of making money and running successful business, but they don't have a genuine love for the club in the way we do. So some things that go wrong, perhaps they don't understand why it hurts us so much. They won't understand why Chelsea winning 2 Champions Leagues hurts us so much. And I think that's kind of where, there's, well, for a lot of reasons, but I think that's one of the main reasons why we're so disconnected from these owners. But anyway, let's move away from that, because we should get Turkish on if we're going to talk about all this, because he can definitely fill out the half hour. It's Burnley today. It's Turf Moor. It's tricky. It's difficult. I said on the preview, on the warm-up, I don't want to just say that they're a long ball team, because you don't survive in the Premier League just being long ball. You've got to have a bit of quality about you. But we know that they're going to make this a really, scrappy, ugly, difficult football match. Helen, I've seen a few people online saying maybe we should go back to a 3-4-3 just for this game, just so we can deal with their aerial threat. But should we, Arsenal Football Club, be worrying about what Burnley are going to do? I feel like they should be worrying about what we do. And ultimately, Pippa, what do you think?
I think we can't go on the fact of who we are as the history of the club. We have to go on the fact of what we're doing right now. And yes, we should be worried. They're a physical team. They're going to be commanding in the box. We've seen it before where we stood up last season against them. So it's going to be a very tough game. And we need to we should be worried, to be honest with you.
Oh God! Oh no! Someone cheer me up, Charlene. Go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an easy game for us, especially with where Burnley's sitting in the table. They ain't yet had a win this season, have they? I think they've had some losses and a draw. Sean Dyche has obviously signed a new contract as well. But, you know, on the flip side, coming off the back of last week's game against Norwich, we saw some positive movements, especially from like our new signings as well. Tommy Yasu, he filled me with confidence. Ramsdale, Lokonga. So I think we're going into the game quite positive on a confidence boost. Yeah, it was only Norwich that we had, but we did manage to get 3 points there. And I think we're going to try and keep that momentum. So tough game, but I do feel like we could and will get the job done.
I think what's surprised me about Burnley is some of the goals they've conceded this season have really shocked me, because there's one thing, maybe if you don't score many goals and they've not got into the rhythm of the season or whatever, that's fine. That can mean, listen, it's happened to us. It's happened to a lot of teams. But some of the goals they've conceded, like against Everton, they went 1-0 up, and then it's a ball into the Michael Keane's unmarked, and Everton equalised. And I'm thinking, that's so un-Burnley. Burnley are normally tight, deal with everything in the box. You've got to normally have to do something with quality to get a goal past Burnley. They've looked a little more shaky at the back than I'm used to seeing. Listen, I don't watch a lot of Burnley. Maybe Burnley fans here will tell me I'm talking a load of rubbish. What do you think, Helen?
That would be good, because we need like 20 chances to get a goal.
No, you're right. No, but you're right.
This game. Yeah, no.
Helen, you're spot on.
You know,
that's it. Because one of the biggest feelings about Arsenal, I saw a great tweet. I think it was Sam Dean who said it, journalist. He said, for Arsenal to score, everything has to go perfectly, like in terms of the build-up, the move, the positioning, and then the finish. But for Arsenal to concede, it feels like very little has to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. That's why we're going to these games so worried, because it's so fragile.
Yeah.
But on a positive, we had a very strong performance defensively against Norwich, having Gabriel back in the team. Ben White looked good. I thought he had a very, very good game. Tomiyasu was fantastic debut for 45 minutes. And, you know, Tierney, we know, will give 100%. So the dilemma is, will it be Leno or Ramsdale in goal? Who do you think?
Well, let's have that discussion now.
I think it was Ramsdale. I've actually seen a lot of Arsenal pages. I think AFTV ourselves did one, and loads of Arsenal fans have put up polls on their Instagram, on Twitter, asking fans who they'll prefer to see. And every poll I've seen, it's been like 80-20 or like 85% to leaning towards Ramsdale.
Yep.
There you go. And after a pretty... Listen, I'm going to be honest. It wasn't a great...
It was also reported that he was starting against Tottenham, which was a load of nonsense.
Yeah, Arteta came out and said that was a load of rubbish. No, I think it's Ramsdale. Who do you think, Charlene?
I think it's got to be Ramsdale. I mean, he got a clean sheet last week. He's confident. You even saw in his post-match pictures the fact that he was buzzing and everything. I mean, keep him in. Why would you change it? I think a lot of fans will be upset as well if we do switch it up and start Leno.
Yeah, I agree.
But isn't that so unfair on Leno though? He's been one of the main players for the last couple of seasons. He's been one of the strongest players, especially that season with Aubameyang in 2019, 2020.
He saved us.
I know it's a while ago, but he's one.
I like Leno a lot.
Put him to the side now.
I get that, but then on the flip side, why are we spending so much on a goalkeeper, you know, to sit on the bench as well? So it is a bit of a tricky one, but I do completely hear what you're saying as well.
Yeah, well, we've lost Pippa, which is a shame, because there's an important message coming in from her for her.
Because the hair gone down.
Imagine he can't just tap on her shoulder and ask her.
Got her AirPods in.
I love that. If Pippa can still hear this, you know, you got to help Cecil out there. The Ramsdale Leno thing is interesting, because I think Pip's got a point. Of all the positions that we really needed to improve on, was Leno really one of them? Now, I know there's good people in the comment section who are going to say, if you look at the way Arteta wants to play, he needs a goalkeeper that's commanding and quick off his line. Graham pointed that out, said Ramsdale's got a much higher starting position than Leno. So that's good. Apparently, only Emi Martinez claimed more crosses into the box than Aaron Ramsdale last year. That's good. You add to that, he's supposedly much better on the ball, and we saw elements of that against Norwich. We saw when he dropped the shoulder and took it past Pukki and then sprayed out to Nicolas Pepe. The fans absolutely loved it. So I do think it's interesting kind of seeing those things. And another great stat that apparently this back four of Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tierney is Arsenal's tallest ever back four. So is there a shift from Arteta to, in this last window, which I think we all thought was quite underwhelming, to actually say, listen, the defense isn't there. I know we all thought that it improved, but actually it was still so far away. And now we've got a new goalkeeper, a new right back, a new centre back added to our new centre back from last season and our new left back from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's quite a turnaround, isn't it?
Well, it is a turnaround, but it's also mistakes made because we had Martinez, so they've made more work than they needed to make, which kind of hits on Arlene said, why would you sign Ramsdale if you're happy with Leno? So, the fact of the matter is we've got them both. We know as fans, we watch Arsenal week in, week out. As much as Leno's a great shot stopper, but he is not great at getting the ball out quickly. He's not assertive enough. He's jittery at times. He invites pressure. And I think he just doesn't instill confidence playing out from the back, because you see the way the defence sets them. They come so far back to get the ball off him. And, it just invites unnecessary pressure. So I really liked what I saw from Ramsdale. I completely understand why we've bought him. But we could also say if we had Saliba, he fits into that system of play. He's also very physical, strong, tall. I think he's probably taller than Ben White and maybe Gabriel.
Yeah, I think he's like 6'4".
That, yeah. So, there's mistakes made regardless, but we're going to just keep looking forward. Hopefully I really want to see Saliba back at Arsenal, and I really hope they do bring him back. I really hope they sort out whatever the issues are, because he is a pure asset. We need him as equally. I can't change the fact that we sold Martinez, but moving forward, Ramsdale looks like they've learned from that mistake, so it's positive.
Well, let's move through the team then. We talked about the Ramsdale thing and the Leno thing. You touched on it there, centre-backs. I agree. I think Saliba has to get minutes next year. They're talking about this loan spell defining whether he gets a new contract at the club. I mean, the whole thing's crazy that we signed him. He hasn't played a minute of first team official action. Now we're talking about potentially a new contract. You think, okay, all right, this is being quite poorly managed, but whatever. Ben White, this is a big test for him now, because I felt for him. I felt people really got on his back after the Brentford game. One game, Ivan Toney's a handful in the air, and I felt people wrote Ben White off quite quickly. Do we think he's going to be seriously tested today?
He will. I mean, it's a different opposition today now. It's Burnley. I do agree with what you were saying. I was sort of like, oh my God, weren't expecting this performance from Ben White. I expected a bit more. But I mean, he had a good game last week. So, he'll be going on the back of that. And I think, what was the question? Sorry.
What?
Everyone will think I was out on the town last night.
It's all right, Charlie. Don't worry. You don't have to hesitate to ask. I was just wondering. Now I forgot the question. I was wondering whether this is going to be a test. Yeah, whether Ben White's going to be tested today. This is
tested. He definitely will be tested. I think the whole Arsenal team is going to be tested, because right now every team that plays us is coming thinking this is the best time to play Arsenal. Historically, every team thinks they're going to try and take 3 points when they play Arsenal right now. And, the team need to be, and I'm sure they're fully aware, need to be thinking, nah, that's not going to happen. We're going out positive, and I just want to see a clean sheet. And I said it in the last show we did. If they can keep a clean sheet and be organised and concentrated for the whole 90, 95, whatever extra minutes they give us in the game, we're in with a chance, because we will create chances. The goals will start coming. The performances will improve once the team establish a consistent team. You know, like we haven't really had that. And I think that's really, really vital to whether Arteta will stay in the job. If he gets the team, if he identifies who our starting 11 are, or 13, you know, give or take the odd tweak depending on maybe the opposition or the style of play, and he, you know, he has to get more out of the team, because it is on the manager. You've made your signings. It's down to you now to pick them and get them playing to take 3 points and get yourself out of the bottom of the table.
You make a really good point about consistency. You know, that's why I'd be disappointed if Leno came in today, because I'm with Pippa. Leno, I don't think actually really deserves a lot of the criticism he's had. I think Emi Martinez came in, did really well, left and did really well, and so the heat has really been on Leno, and I do feel for him for that. But I do want to see Ramsdale start, because we need that consistency, and we need Arteta's players and Arteta's signings playing regularly. And today, it's Burnley away. It's going to be tricky. But even if, say, Rob Holding was better in the air than Ben White, I think you've got to find another way of then getting the best out of Ben White. Not all great defenders were great in the air. They found another way of defending. They found another way. Javier Mascherano played centre-back for the greatest team of all time, you know, because Carlos Puyol was regularly injured. And he just found a way. He's not the tallest, but he was just... I know Barcelona basically had 95% possession in all their games. But he found a way. They came up against tough teams, and he found a way. And I think today we've just got to find a way of managing Burnley, and Ben White's got to play to his strengths.
So the question is, do you think Arteta will keep a similar lineup to last week, or do you think he's just going to switch it up? Because that is concern, and that is what, you know, Helen's saying as well.
I think he'll bring one player in. I think he'll bring Partey in.
Okay. In exchange for who?
Probably Maitland-Niles. Listen, I would do more. I would do more. Talk about the middle now. Partey will come in, and I would actually, controversially, I would rest Saka.
I would definitely.
You saw it last week. He didn't have this game.
I wouldn't have started him last week, and I definitely would have taken him off. He would have been one of my substitutions by half time, even if I'd have started him, seeing he was tired. He didn't need to play that game. We had other players available that could have played in that position. So I am concerned about his management of Saka. I think he is over reliant on Saka. And there are things I do question, because we have other players equally. I'm just not sure he's managing a lot of the younger players effectively as they should be.
Yeah, do you think that's down to pressure from the fans? Because obviously Saka's been doing us good now.
No, it's not pressure of the fans. Mikel, he's not that guy. That you know, he does his thing. He's not bothered about the fan. He's not going to be swayed by the fans. I don't know what it is. I mean, Saka's phenomenal, and I really rate him highly, as I do Martinelli and Emil Smith-Rowe. Like all of our players. But I think when you've got Ainsley, you know, that can play in exactly the same roles, let's say, that you're asking Saka to play, you didn't need to play him after he's played for England. I don't know.
Well, I take into account that Emil Smith-Rowe was ill, right? So
I think he had an ankle.
Yeah, he didn't train much ahead of Norwich. Martinelli could have started, or Aubameyang on the left with Lacazette up front. So there were other options, but he wanted to go with Saka. But he's also, where it feels to me like he's slightly forcing Saka in, is that he's playing him on the left rather than the right. And Saka kind of played his best football on the right last season.
Yeah.
It feels to me like he really wants Pepe on the right. I'm not sure what. I think because Pepe's kind of our biggest goal threat in a weird way. And then he's thinking, well, Saka can play on this kind of inside left role. But I thought he looked a little uncomfortable out there against Norwich. I'm not sure it's going to work in Burnley. I don't think he'll have the space to try and get in those pockets in front of I don't think it's going to work. And I would play Smith-Rowe kind of basis that Saka's just not looking 100%. But that's okay. Like I love Saka. You can have a slight. It's one game, right? You can have a slight dip, and he'll get back to. I thought he was one of the few players who looked quite bright against Man City, and I say bright because I don't think anyone looked good. But yeah, I'd bring Smith Rowe in. What would you do, Charlene? Who's starting in that kind of midfield for you?
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you guys. I think Saka definitely needs a break. And Martinelli would be a good option as well. Why isn't he getting any minutes?
That was the point. It wasn't like Ainsley. That was just one I mentioned. The point I'm making is we've got 4 or 5 different players that can play. You know, you tweak it to make room and be as effective. If he's tired or if he wasn't fully fit or whatever it was, he just, you know, everybody said it, you know, around the stadium. Everyone was sort of saying, oh, I would have taken off Saka. Like that was we thought he was going to be the substitution.
Yeah, the first substitution as well. I was surprised when he went.
Yeah. But, and it's fine. We got 3 points. It's not like deep. It's just saying, I do wonder at times how we're managing certain players because I wanted to see him get injured, for example, when he's tired or a bit sloppy. And he's you know, they're going hard against Saka.
They are.
Like the next
they are. And in fairness, Saka was a big part of the goal. You know, Saka had to be kind of really driven and determined and strong on the ball to hold off Grant Hanley. And, you know, the goal comes from that. So, you know, Saka can play badly and still be a massive part of why we win the game.
Yeah.
But I'll look to rest him. I think Smith Rowe does well on the left as well. It's a really common here, James. As a better comparison would be Mert Saka and Koscielny covering his lack of pace. Yeah, I think White and Gabriel, they got pace, and maybe it's going to be a case of who picks the aerial duels, or maybe Tomiyasu coming across as well.
Yeah, and he was doing a lot of that in the last game, to be fair. And Ben White did win a lot of balls in the air because that was something I was watching. And listen, he had a good game. Like I think he's definitely a good defender. There's no question about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, guys, we've only got a couple of minutes left of the stream. Don't forget that the build-up's coming up at 1. I'll be on that with, I think Harvey's joining me, as Cecil is on the road to Burnley. Then we're going to have the starting 11, match day live, and all that coming throughout the day. Let's just end on Aubameyang, you know, in that striking situation. I just want to get a quick opinion from both of you. I felt he looked sharp in the last game, but his finishing wasn't there. And maybe he lacked confidence, but you could see he was trying and he looked up for it. Could that goal, even though it's a tap in, they say, listen, got to be right place, right time. Could it start to just unlock Aubameyang a little bit?
I think after you saw in his post-match interview as well, you can see how much it actually meant to him as well. So although it was, you know, a little tap in, it meant a lot. So hopefully this is it now, and it gives him more confidence. And yeah, I will keep him. I will play him in today's game just to help him find form again. You know, get him back to the Aubameyang that we know.
Yeah.
Go on, Helen.
I think, yeah, definitely. All I wanted was him to score. He scored. You know, he'll as long as we can play the football, create the chances, the goals will come.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're being asked for score predictions. I said 1-1. I'm going to be honest. I did say 1-1, and it hurts to say that. I think we can go and play well and win. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is just. I don't think we've found flow or rhythm yet. It's one game against Norwich. There were things I liked about the performance, but there were things that I think were also lacking. Score predictions, girls? What do you think?
I'm going to go for a 1 or 2-0 Arsenal win.
Okay, go on.
I'm going to Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal.
I want a clean sheet, yeah.
I'd love it so much.
I want it, so I'm going to get it.
I'd love it so much if we could just win this game, go into the North London derby.
Really like to see today.
Go on, tell us.
Okay, to score. I'd love that. I'd love him to get on the score sheet because I've just got that feeling. I'd like.
We've got Willem saying Burnley 9-0, and we've got Chris saying Arsenal 4-0. So hey, let's see what happens. Aaron says 2-1. Let's see, guys.
Yeah, but I want 2-0.
Yeah, keep it simple says be brave, James. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if we went and, you know, put in a solid performance and won 1 or 2-0, but you know, we'll see. Anyway, it's about that back four. It's about that back four.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did the job. We could be all right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, look, that brings us to the end of the stream. As I mentioned, build-ups at 1 p.m. and then you got everything leading up to the game. The starting line is going to come out. Keep an eye on that because that is going to be so interesting for me. What he kind of sticks with, what he's going to mix up. Is Partey ready? Is he going to go with that midfield three like when towards the end of the Norwich game where Odegaard and Smith Rowe were in midfield? I don't know. We'll have a look. I think it's going to be interesting. And then don't forget that after the game, you can catch our live reaction on full time. I'm sure you guys will be joining me. And then all the fan cams will be coming out as well. So yeah, it's a busy day. It's a very busy day. Come on, Arsenal, please win.
Come on, Gunners!
That's all I want. All right, girls, thank you so much for joining.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. See you later. Bye-bye.